It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's the Latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
Everybody loves chips and salsa.
Welcome to your Chips and Salsa Show. This is Don Jorge El Alacran. I'm back. And I'll be gone for a while.
For a limited time.
Yeah, I'll be gone for a while because I'm going to be doing the elections. With me is my co-host, with the mostest, Doña Cheryl Rosado.
Hello, that's
And then
me.
we have our guest, which is Daniel Butierez. He's running against Grijalva. Like I was saying,
for the 7th
about
congressional seat.
For the 7th congressional seat. And we're gonna finally win. We have to win it. We have to unseat Grijalva. He's already said that he's not going to run again. So, and it's actually in the news.
Dan will talk to us about that whole bombshell in a minute.
Yes, and then I'm working the elections as a troubleshooter. I'll be doing it for 28 days. Cheryl is going to be having other co-hosts here taking my place, and it's going to be a girl show, probably.
Yes. Girl power.
And she does it so good.
Rosie the Riveter.
Yep, she does it so good. We're so proud of Cheryl and the way she does the show. Thank you so much for joining the Chips and Salsa Show months ago. And she's really, really brought our show some really great podcasts. So, without further ado, I'll give it to Cheryl since she's so good at talking.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say I'm excited. This weekend is MCRC's Lincoln Day Lunch. So I hope you guys all have your tickets. I know it's going to be a fantastic event. I'm very excited. I'll be attending with my oldest daughter / the Chips and Salsa production assistant, Ariana. She's going to be helping with the TARS. That's the Teenage Republican table. We're so excited that Ariana is officially a member of the TARS. And we are, I know they have a leadership conference that they will be selling raffle tickets to start earning money for. That leadership conference isn't until next summer. It's in DC, and all the kids are super excited about that. So anyone who wants to show some support, I know they would love that. You can, I'll try and find an email or something, try and figure out some more information about that. But we'll definitely the TARS are going to really amp up those efforts. So I'm looking forward to Lincoln Day Luncheon and the kids getting to see us adults in action, and of course see who's going to win the big awards. And we have Lara Logan, very exciting, and we've got some candidates as speakers. I'm sure Carrie Lake is going to be there. So very, very, very cool. Very excited for that. Like Don Jorge said, we have election season starting. So shout out to all of the election workers and also, of course, the poll watchers. Thank you all for volunteering and doing that. It's so important. I hope all of you PCs are out there getting your golden tickets out. I just finished the last of mine in my precinct. So yay me. And all my kids helped. And I'm super proud to have my children involved in following in the footsteps and seeing what a good, active political citizen should be. And I'm just so excited that we're able to do that. So yay for homeschooling, because you get to do that.
I want to say one thing. We've always told people, come the day of the election and vote in person. If you have an early ballot and you can't vote in person, just drop it in the mail. We need those early ballots to go in and be counted. So, and Trump is telling people to send in those early ballots. So let's vote early if you can. If you want to come in still and vote in person, that's okay. But we're encouraging a lot of people to go ahead and mail in those early ballots because it's very important that our vote counts.
I definitely think that if you want to vote early in person, that you should do that as early as possible. You don't want to be dropping off your ballot, the day of, the week before. Like, try and get those. If you're going to you have your early ballot and you want it to go in early, do it early. Do it in the next week, because that will it's so delayed when you drop it off at the last minute. So do it early. Don't delay. Check out MaricopaGOP.org if you don't know your golden ticket or you need help with, the propositions and stuff like that. Of course, vote no on Prop 139. That's the abortion proposition. We don't want that enshrined in our Arizona Constitution. And I'm sure we will talk about that also at length with Dan, because I know he is passionately pro-life. So without further ado, why don't we get on with it?
And it's very important because it's 2 ballots now.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's going to take longer. The lines are going to be longer. It's going to take longer in the voting booth because you're going to have your golden ticket looking at who to vote for, or you'll be on your cell phone, which you're allowed to do, and research on your cell phone. People are going to take longer in the voting booth. I know it. I know it's coming. They're prepared for it. There's going to be long lines, so be prepared for that. Don't get upset. Just stand. It ends at 7 p.m. It's the last person in line gets to vote. So if it's 7 p.m. and you're 20 in line, to 20th person in line, you will get to vote. But be patient. Don't get angry. This is just a general election. Trump is running, of course, and Kamala, and it's going to be a lot of people voting. So let's have patience. Let's do like Cheryl said. If you want to vote early, vote now. Vote as soon as you can. As soon as you get that ballot, it's 2 pages, people. And if you want to research at home, you got all the time in the world at home to research it.
And that was a good point. You are allowed to take your phone in there. You are allowed to take literature in there. You can take the golden tickets with you. You can take cheat sheets, anything like that you want as a voter. You are allowed to take that in there. Yeah. And if they tell you no, then you can call the hotline because you could have a
Trump shirt and a Trump hat, and you could still vote. And it's the law.
Right. And one other thing, we have a big event coming up on the 19th. We have the Lowrider Festival. It's going to be, in South Phoenix at El Prado Park on the 19th. That park's on 19th Avenue and Vineyard, I believe. And we're going to have the cars. I know there's going to be food trucks. I know there is going to be free food. I'm sure the food trucks are pay it, but we're supposed to have some candidates. I know Congressional candidate for that district, Jeff Zink, is going to be there. Matt Evans for mayor is going to be there, and Chips and Salsa is going to be there. We're going to be there live the whole time, so you can come if you want to come, wave, say hi to your mom on air. We might just let you do that. So we're very excited for this event, and shout out to Patty Porter. She's going to be showing up to help me because Don Jorge does not have availability that day. So we're very excited for that, and I can't wait to do it.
We got a lot of things coming up. So right now, let's go to our guest, Cheryl.
Yes. So Dan, running against Grijalva in CD7, and he has been in office for how long?
22 years.
22 years. That's crazy. And he has done a bang-up job, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he just tore the place up.
As a socialist, maybe. Well, what did he tell you? That he's ready to retire, and he was only going to serve 22 years, which means he gave him the endorsement already. Come on. That's what the press release, right?
Yeah, he did. He came out. He was on the radio. He came out on a KOLD 13 to show that he was healthy.
Because he's been sick.
He's been very sick.
And he's missed how many votes?
He has missed, I believe, 404 votes. And he has been out since February.
So he has not been in D.C. doing his job.
Absolutely
since
not.
February.
He has been sick. We all know he's been sick. But he's afraid.
Because he was like Biden. Nobody had seen him in 1,000 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Biden was doing better. At least Biden was out and made some appearance. Grijalva had just disappeared. So he did come out. He announced he was done with his chemo. Now, some of the news articles are saying that he's better now, but when Grijalva made a statement that he was done with chemo for now, he didn't come out and say, I'm in remission.
Yeah.
So he's clearly still got cancer. He's just done with his chemo. Mm-hmm. And that's why I believe he just came out, and that's why he's announced that that's it, 22 years, and he's passing the torch. which I don't know why
when
he's
you're at a
running.
job interview saying, please elect me, I'm about to retire in 2 weeks, that's not really something that voters are confident in.
No, and honestly, no one should have any confidence right now anyways. He has not represented us. As a matter of fact, his statement towards missing his votes, which they said it was 300, 350, but the fact is it was 404. And his opinion on missing those votes was that they were inconsequential, and which blew me away. I mean, how do you go in there? We've paid you to do a job for 22 years. Mm-hmm. He's gotten a paycheck for 22 years. We've never not paid him. And he spent almost a year not doing his job, and he comes and his response is, your votes don't matter, and that's why I didn't go vote.
The only reason he came out is because you guys put pressure on him because he wasn't attending none of the press conferences, none of the media events that you were at.
Right.
He wasn't attending, and it's only him and Grijalva running, so they say, hey, where's my opponent? I'm here, but my opponent is, and I believe the pressure was enough to make him at least make that statement.
And the big thing is, there were two options. One, either he was very ill and just couldn't debate, which was kind of what he was leading to, or the other one is he was afraid to debate because he can't stand up and explain these open borders that are costing the taxpayers of Pima County $1.4 million a week.
Can you tell us? I mean, this show is for Southern Arizona, but can you tell us, just in case someone doesn't know, where District 7 is?
CD7 runs from Yuma, which is the corner of Arizona and California, and up into Douglas, Arizona, then up in Tolleson and Avondale. It's that whole section of land, and it's all but 30-something miles. CD7 is the border of Arizona, except for 30-something miles, which is one Siscomannis.
Okay. So that's the border.
Yep.
Definitely. Okay.
Oh.
So.
And as a matter of fact, all the ports of entry are in CD7.
Mm-hmm.
Grijalva's managed to brag about that from time to time.
And since he brought out that press release, how many interviews have you had with big networks where he wasn't there because he just did the press release and then you didn't hear from him again? You did a few, right?
I've been on the Horizon. I've been on PBS. And then I just recently did the Channel 13 one with Bud Foster. Yeah.
And that was, and the 13 was because a fairness thing, because they interviewed Grijalva
on that,
but then they didn't interview you, and you guys brought that out. So they said they were glad to go ahead and interview you.
Yep.
So that's, I mean, for him not to be at these interviews, it sounds like Harris not doing press conferences, and
right.
kind of shying away from things. And at least you're there. Hey, come on, let's talk man to man. Candidate to candidate. Let's. And now
the only thing Grijalva can run on, and I think he would be afraid to run on it with me, is the abortion issue. He would have come out because that's what they got. It's nothing but a distraction. Because abortion's legal here in Arizona, so it's kind of a pointless argument. But I was looking forward to him coming out to discuss it with me because it shows that he's a traitor. If he's a Roman Catholic like me, so he knows, as I know, that our tradition, our beliefs are in the sanctity of life. Mm-hmm. We believe in the sanctity of life. So for him to come out and stand up so adamantly about abortion when, he's never going to get an abortion. It just doesn't matter to him. It's not something he should even be addressing. But to step out and do that when it is against everything we have been taught, everything we believe in, and I address this. I don't hide from it. I don't shun from it. I'm against abortion. But abortion's legal in the state of Arizona. And it should be, and if you're going to go make abortion legal and you want to deal with it, then you put it on a ballot and you put it before the people. It's called democracy.
Right.
Let the people decide. But do not let 10 men in robes, one way or the other, tell a woman that she that she can have an abortion, it's the law of the land, or that she can't have an abortion, it's the law of the land. 9 people should not be in charge of that because it's not a constitutional issue. It's not a human, it's not a health issue. It is a natural cycle of life.
And that's why it's in the state's hands now.
Exactly.
And that's the right way to do it, you know?
And they're definitely trying to frame it as a health issue so that they can get away with these atrocities, because they're trying to say, oh, you know, it's between a woman and her doctor, but like, we don't allow euthanasia, so I don't really see why you think that this should be different. We should always err on the side of protecting life. We should err on the side of caution. And you know, if there are cells, there is life. You know, we say that, oh, they found life on Mars because there's, you know, some water cells or whatever they found, you know. And how can you say, oh, we found life on Mars, but you can't see that that is life in the womb? It's life, and life is life. And that's period. That's the end of it. You know what I mean? So I definitely don't understand these pro-abortion people, but...
Well, it's not a health issue in Arizona because it's legal in Arizona.
Right.
15 weeks. Every excuse they want to use is irrelevant. What if the uncle rapes his niece and she needs an abortion? Well, let me tell you, she knew within the 15 weeks that her uncle raped her. Knew it.
Right.
So that's a lousy argument. What if the mother's health's in danger? Well, guess what? The law has exceptions for that. If the mother's life's in danger, it can go beyond the 15 weeks. So their arguments are ridiculous. It is nothing but a distraction to take us all away from the issues that are actually impacting Arizona, such as the southern border, our economy, the crime, the homelessness. There are so many big issues impacting Arizona, and the Democrats don't want to talk about any of them. They want to address the abortion issue. And I don't normally say Democrats because I try not to say anything one way or the other, because there are actually Democrats, and I've been endorsed by quite a few of them, that are against abortion. And there are Republicans that are for abortion. So the bigotry that they're using to divide our country with the Democrats and the Republicans is wrong. Okay? And it is bigotry. It is hatred. And I don't know if any of you know about the Adelita Grajava in Pima County. She put out a sign. Well, someone put a sign out. It said, F you, MAGA, and...
Oh, I saw that.
It was all over the place, okay?
Was it was some in Spanish?
Yes, it was in Spanish.
It was in Spanish, yeah.
Chingale.
I saw that. Yeah.
And anyways, it was Adelita put it on Facebook. Didn't blur out anything, just put it on Facebook. And I asked her a question on Facebook. I said, aren't you representing the representative of the district? She's District 5. She's representing Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Libertarians. Right. See, this is the mentality of the Grajavas, and this is why Grajava only gets about a quarter of the votes. And nobody else votes.
Is she
She's his daughter, and she's the board of supervisors. She posted it on her wall. Okay, talking about attack and putting hate speech out, and that's hate speech against half of her constituents. I mean, it just, this is where their mentality are. This is where tyranny is. It's alive and well, and we need to stop it because it's causing division in our communities. You've been around a while, Jorge. Remember when Democrats and Republicans used to get along?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It was about 2010 when...
I used to be a Democrat before I became a Republican.
And a lot of them are leaving that because in 2010, Obama came into office and the whole country followed him.
Yeah.
And half the Democratic Party went far left, and the country started moving left. And all of a sudden, which created Trump. Trump came out and said, whoa, wait a minute, we all need to come back. Need to come back. So he stood as a symbol to bring us all back. Trump was a Democrat.
Yeah, because I voted for Kennedy, and I thought Kennedy was great. And who do we have supporting Trump now?
Kennedy.
It is, times have changed. I supported Perot too, and he just I don't know how he didn't win, but then I went to Reagan.
Candidate.
Then I started being a Republican, but it is crazy the way they've gotten. I mean, it's just they'll say it's up and it's really down, and people are supposed to believe it. And you say it enough times, people do believe it. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's what these commercials are. And I really, I think our politicians should attack every time there's a negative attack on them, because we're not seeing it. We're just seeing the negative from the Democrats. And people tend to believe what they see. And it's so sad, because I can predict who's going to win and lose just by looking at the commercials on TV that are daily. And people just, and every year that happens, we lose. We lose a lot of seats. And I'm thinking that, you're doing the right thing by going to all these news agencies and giving your point of view. Because if Grijalva is not going to do it, it's your job to do it. And I really have high hopes for you. And Grijalva has to be sent packing. And then his sister, his daughter, is the next one that got to be sent packing.
Yeah, definitely. We're just going to take a quick break so that we can hear from some of our wonderful sponsors like Pure 5 Extraction. And we'll be back with Dan to talk some more about Southern Arizona and the issues that he feels are important. And we'll hear all he has to say.
Blue Air is a family-owned HVAC company that specializes in residential air conditioning and heating. We offer a variety of services, including installation, replacement, repair, and maintenance. Canaloo Air. We keep your home comfortable all year round. Call us today for a free quote. Why Canaloo Air? Here are the top 5 reasons. Family-owned and operated. We are committed to high-quality service. Our technicians use the highest quality parts and equipment. The business is a member of the Home Advisor Elite Service Award program. And finally, we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Visit our website, canilooair.com, or call us today, 602-609-3480, to schedule an appointment.
Ready to take your craft to the next level? Imagine faster extractions, purer products, and more profits. Sounds good, right? At Pure 5 Extraction, we've revolutionized cannabis extraction with our game-changing technology. No solvents, no heat, just the cleanest, most natural process on the market. Whether you're a boutique grower or a large-scale operation, Pure 5 has the tools to elevate your business worldwide. Visit pure5extraction.com today. Pure 5 Extraction, because your plants deserve the best.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us as we're talking with Dan Butierez. I had a question. So are you native to Arizona?
Yes, I am. I've been telling everyone that my grandfather came here in the 1800s. Well, my mother let me know when she had come to visit, and she said, "Honey, you keep saying that your grandfather came here in the 1800s. That's not exactly true." She said, your family was here when America came.
America came to them.
Yeah, so we've been here before America was here.
This shows Mexico that, half the United States is Mexico, and then that was changed with time. But yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. I know that a lot of people, I too am native Arizonan, and people find that to be really rare. So since you are a native, do you have a lot of family here?
I'm related to the Gutierrezes, which my grandfather was Filomeno Gutierrez. And I don't know a lot about that family because they didn't have really good, records of family.
Keeping.
Yeah. It just didn't. But my grandmother was Ramona Calderon, and they kept track of their family records because we were descendants of Dons and Donas of Spain. So they all had titles of nobility.
Fancy.
So I do have my records from the Calderon. And speaking of that, I was with I'm also related to the Valenzuelas, the Montoyas, the Benavideses. These are all my family.
Lots of family names there.
Yeah, well, when you've been here for over 200 years, it just happens. But my Venezuela, went over and introduced myself to a gentleman.
What's his name?
Alfredo Valenzuela. They call him Dr. V in Tucson. As a matter of fact, the city of Tucson just put a statue up.
So he's famous in Tucson?
Oh, yeah. He's a very important man. He's taught thousands of Latinos and Hispanics to become mariachis. So he's a mariachi
I love
instructor.
mariachis.
Oh, okay.
And they put a statue up, and they set aside August 10th as the date of recognition in Tucson for him. Well, I went over to introduce myself to him, and we were talking. He's looking at my name, Butierez. I know, I've seen this name. I've been seeing it, I'm hearing it. And then he goes, "You're a Calderon." And I said, "Well, yes, sir, I am. My grandmother was Ramona Calderon." He goes, "You and me are family," because my grandmother was his aunt. So,
What? That's incredible.
Oh,
That's such a small world, isn't it?
yes, it is.
That's how it is in South Phoenix for us, a small world. And I imagine, obviously, since your family's been here so long, and like you said, you have all these branches, that it would be very similar. Lots of family all over the place.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you didn't know you were distant cousins at all?
No, I did.
He's the one who knew.
He's the one that told me we were cousins, because the Calderon family, it's a very well-known name. It's like I said, it's a descendant of nobility. They like 3 or 4 generations back, and I looked at all my family's history, and it goes all the way back to the King of Spain, Don Juan Rodrigo Calderon, who was executed for attempting to. Well, they accused him of poisoning the queen. He proved he did. Well, they tortured him, and he never admitted he did it. So they were going to release him, but the king died, and the next day they executed him. But he's a mummy in Spain. So
that's crazy. That's a crazy.
So I'm a Don Jorge. I might be royalty from Puerto Rico. I have to study my background, because I'm a Don Jorge. Go ahead. I was just messing with you.
Oh no! But that so the Calderon was a very known name, and they had records, so I could track those back. They go back to New Mexico.
So there's a lot of Calderons in Tucson and all over the place.
So are you? Is your family, like that extended family that you do know, are they conservative, or are you guys kind of like odd men out, or how does that? Because you think of Southern Arizona, you think of more liberal.
Well,
so
it's funny you should say that. There's a lot of them that are conservative, and a lot that are becoming conservative. Mm-hmm. But a large number of my family are Democrats, and.
Are they like Democrat in name only? Because are they Catholic? So they might be a little more conservative, but not, or are they Southern Arizona Democrats?
A lot of them vote for Grava. Okay. They're not going to vote for him this year. They're voting for their cousin, because family's
That's
family.
Good family, yes. Primos.
Yep.
Yeah. Primos.
Primo. Primo.
And then some of my older relatives who have never ever voted, never ever registered to vote, have been running around all last week trying to get their registrations done.
Good.
So they can vote for me. And my Uncle Johnny came and got the golden tickets and took them to him, because they were just going to go down and vote for me. They're going to leave everything else. So Uncle Johnny took them the golden tickets so they could fill everything.
Down ticket voting is important. vote a straight ticket, guys.
So.
That's funny, because I have an Uncle John as well. I feel like I know my daughter does as well. I think my husband does as well. So does every Latino have an Uncle John, Uncle Johnny? Do you have one? Don Jorge, do you have an Uncle John or an Uncle Johnny? Theo
I have
Juan?
an Uncle John, yeah.
My mom has Theo Juan, though. That's funny. Sorry, that just hit me. I just throwing that out there. But what were you saying about?
about going out and.
Oh, I know. You reminded me of something. You said, going out and registering people to vote. I just saw AZGOP posted that from September 7th and to October 7th, which was the deadline to register people to vote, that we registered 32,000 new Republicans. So that is just a tremendous feat. I know that I personally, I teamed up with Benvenido Faith, and we went to a church that I know, and we registered people. We held a civics class to talk about the importance of Christians being active in politics, and then we registered people to vote. And then she went back. That was like a during the week class, and then she went back on Sunday, which was like right before the deadline, to register more people to vote, because we have so many people who have just kind of been sitting on the sidelines, but they're getting active, they're becoming passionate, and they're seeing, like, I even saw a billboard on the way over here that was like, if enough people vote, like, they can't cheat, like Trump says, too big to rig, you know what I mean? And that's what we want. We want the red wave, and so I love that your family was part of that.
What do you know? Christians, about 50% don't vote, and it's got to change, because if the Christians stepped up and voted their values, it'd be the end of these left-wing extremists.
Right. I mean, how do they say the silent majority, because you're right. There's been Christians, and they are just content to sit at home and say, oh, well, what's Caesar's is Caesar's. But no, the Lord gave us a brain for a reason. And like you said, I was told at an AZGOP meeting, and this was last year, so it was based on older statistics. I don't know if it was from 2020 or 2022. And they told us that 50% of self-professing Christians are not registered to vote, and of those 50%, only 50% actually vote. So that's not even people being active in the party, not becoming PCs, just plain voting. You only got 25% of self-professing Christians, and that's a shame. We definitely need to. I went to an event by Faith Wins over the last week, and they were just talking about Christians need to become politically active. And like you just said, if Christians will get up and start taking a stand, things will be different, and that's what we need for our country.
Well, I know this. There's been a lot of the There's a lot of Democrats that believe in our values. Mm-hmm. They believe in, like I just got done telling you, there's a lot of Democrats that are against abortion. A lot of them. About 95% of Mexico are Catholics. Mm-hmm. 95% that.
And they're conservative, actually.
Yep.
They're conservative-minded, but they say democracy. In Mexico, the politics, they call themselves like a democracy. And so when you say democracy, now I lost a frame of thought. Go ahead.
Well, and I've been telling them here lately about, have you ever heard the story of the drowning man? Mm-hmm. Okay. Water's come rushing in, the guy's in the house, he runs outside, he gets on the roof. A boat comes up, a rowboat, says, quick, jump in. He says, no, I'm praying to God, he's going to save me. So the boat reluctantly rolls off. And a speedboat comes racing in. Hey, quick, because the water's rising higher. Jump in. I'll take you to safety. He goes, no, I'm okay. I'm praying to God. He's going to save me. And the water goes up. He's up to his neck. Helicopter comes in, throws a rope down and says, quick, grab the rope. I'll get you out of there. No, God's going to save me. Next thing he knows, he's standing at the gate, and he's looking at God. He said, why didn't you save me? He said, are you kidding me? I sent you a rowboat, I sent you a speedboat, I sent you a helicopter with a rope. You just didn't grab the rope.
Yeah, you just got to be smart enough.
This is what's happening with these Christians. Mm-hmm. They're sitting back and they're saying God's going to take care of it. Well, God has sent people right now for these Christians to vote for. He's saying, here's your chance to save your country. All you have to do is vote for the person that's walking in my values.
Right.
You don't even have to choose a party.
And that's what the guy at Faith Wins says. He said, we never tell people a party or even a candidate. We tell them vote biblically. Read your Bible, know what it says, and vote those values. And if you vote those values, well, it's pretty clear usually who stands for that and who doesn't.
Yep.
And so, and I would say as someone who's pro-life, that would be you, Dan.
Yep.
You stand for that, and that's so commendable. If somebody who just hearing about you today with our Chips and Salsa episode, and they want to say, how can I support you? How can I get involved, volunteer for the campaign? Do you have a website?
My website is Daniel Butierez, that's Butierez, for Congress 2024.com.
Okay. So that's how, and people, if they want to donate money,
they can donate.
You have a donate button there?
Yep, there's a donate button there. There's a place you can sign up to volunteer. There's
Are you
a
going to have
phone number
people
there.
out like electioneering or handing out literature?
People are out, right? I've got lots of brochures people have been handing out. I probably got 300 signs left that can go out. They've taken one of my vans and they're driving around and getting ground crew out, handing out flyers. And we still got a lot of stuff to get out. And anybody who wants to they can also call us because the phone number's on the webpage. Mm-hmm. You can call me. If you have questions for me, give me a call. If you want to find out what I'm about, or if just anything, you can call me and ask me, and I will tell you what I stand on.
I like it about you that you're straightforward and you don't beat around the bush. You just tell it like it is, and I love that. It's the truthfulness in you, and that's what I like. A lot of politicians don't do it. They spin you around in a circle, and they're just like they make you look like if you don't know what you're talking about. Well,
the interview I did yesterday, on it was on KOLD 13, Tucson. If anybody wants to go look at that, every comment I've got on there, they just say, "Wow, an honest politician," because I put my life out there. I everything about me I put out there. And what I want to do, what's most dear to my heart, which is, we got to do something about these homeless. We got to stop these drugs pouring across this border. We couldn't talk about the border on 13 because I wasn't allowed to talk about my campaign. But we need to stop these drugs. We need to close up our border. We need to secure it. We got to do this. And it's because it's destroying our people. I've been going to the tribes, talking to the tribes. I've got a lot of the tribes coming on board. As a matter of fact, someone read my webpage. Awesome girl. My wife's looking at my webpage where people volunteer to do stuff. And she wanted to do everything. So
That's
Paul
awesome.
goes, you need to call her. So I give her a call and I say, hello. She goes, hello. And I said, hello. Is Melissa there? This is her. I said, well, hello, Melissa. This is Daniel Butierez. She goes,
That's awesome.
I've read everything about you. I want to help you. And she was a Grohova supporter.
There you go.
Not anymore. She, as a matter of fact, we were here when she called and wanted to know where some more signs are because she's running around and she's from the reservation and she's out there because she's got people that want signs in their yard. So she's out taking signs.
That's perfect.
Oh.
And
That's a blessing.
that just also speaks to how genuine you are, because I've said it many times. People respond when someone is authentic and genuine. They can see it. They can see through, all these airs that people put on, and they respect that somebody is honest with them. So, like I said, go to the website if you would like to donate your money, your time, any kind of support, your talents that you have for Dan. I know he'd appreciate it. We're coming up to the home stretch. Election season has started. So we would love to hear from you. Support him on social media, share the posts and the videos and all those things, and tell your friends. Make sure you get somebody out to the polls to vote. It's very important. And thank you so much for joining us today, Dan.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming on the
All
show.
right, Jorge.
And we'll see you guys next time when we are live at the Lowrider Show. So, bye.
Tune in, Chipters.